नमः सुंदरनाथाय तस्मै हालास्य भासिने चतुष्षष्टि विद्यालीला येनाकारि भुवस्थले श्रीमत् सुंदरनाथस्य देवीं शफरलोचनां कलये हृदये नित्यं कदम्ब वनवासिनी पूतं स्वतः पूततरं ततो यद् गाङ्गम्पयः शङ्करमौलिसङ्गात् तत्पातु मातः प्रणयापराधपादाहतैः पूततमं ततो नः. In the second Sarga of Shivaleelarnavam, we are looking at the description of Pandya Desha, and within that Pandya Desha you have the description of Tamraparni. Tamraparni is a perennial river that runs in the southern part of Tamil Nadu. It starts off from the mountains of Malaya Parvatam and goes to the sea. There was a question last time, I think, about where it joins the sea. It is near Thoothukudi, but it is a little below Thoothukudi. And the river where it originates is called Agastya Peak. In Tamil, that mountains are called Podigai Malai. And in Sanskritam, we call it as Malaya Parvatam. Probably, it is the name is very different in Tamil, but we have the reference for Tamraparni being originated from the Malaya Parvatam. So we finished with the Shloka where he says, Sroto mukhaihi ambunidhim pravishtam swabhavataha swadu yadiyam ambaha nirmathyalabdham tridashaihi kadachit. I thought we did the next one also. No, yes. So the one before this had the shloka where Abhyapatanti Manuvasaram Yam Agastya Gotra Prabhava. I was looking for that Visheshanam where he says Tamraparni is the daughter of both Agastya and Malaya Parvatam. And in this shloka, he says she was given in marriage to in the shloka earlier, she was given in marriage to Samudram. And how does she enter the Samudra? So, Datta Suta, and she was received by Samudra also in a very respectful manner by spreading flowers, not flowers, but pearls, which were like flowers. So, Pushpairiva Mauktika Oghaihi Sa Svikrita Samudrenapi Ya Malaya Parvatena Agasthyena Cha Vivahe Datta. Right? Now, how did she join? So the connection from the earlier shlokas is such that she was given in marriage and Samudra received her. That is the next shloka. And now in this shloka where we finished, how did she enter Samudra? Sroto mukhaihi ambunidim pravishtam. She entered the Samudram, the ocean, with a lot of small streams, usually in a delta. The river breaks up into a lot of small streams and then goes and joins the ocean. So, Sroto mukhaihi ambunidim pravishtam. Now, the waters that enter into the ocean, usually the nadi jalam tu tatra, it becomes salty, taking on the taste of the ocean. But here, the Kavi fancies, he imagines that Devas, when they churned the ocean, Samudra Mathanam Yada Devaihi Kritam, Tata Mathanat Sudha Labdha, Amritam Labdham, Tattu Amritam, Tamraparnyaha Jalameva, Yadiyam Ambaha Swadu. So by nature, the waters of Tamraparni is extremely sweet. And so probably the Devas, when they churned the ocean and got out the Amritam, they are only talking about this water as Sudha. There is nothing separate called Amritam, whereas it is only Tamraparni's waters. So we finished with this shloka. Now, the next one is a very interesting episode that is mentioned here. I've taken some references from Mahabharatam also. Ksharodaka aswada bhavam vipakam apakarishyan iva kumbhajanma jahati shailam malayam najatu patum prakritya madhuram yad ambaha. Yasyaha ambaha patum Malayam Shailam Najatu Jahati. Kadapi Jatu ityukte kadachitapi. At no point in his life, Agastya left this Malaya Parvatam because he wanted to continuously keep drinking this sweet water. So he mentioned that this water is extremely sweet. Swabhavataha madhuram. Tattu, it entered the ocean. And even the Devas are talking about it as Amritam. So in order to keep drinking this Amrita Mayam Swadu Ambaha, Agastya, Kumbhajanma, is constantly staying in Malaya Parvatam to drink this water. Right? Why does he do that? The Hetu here is being, imagined by the poet here. He says, Ksharodaka aswada bhavam vipakam apakarishyan. Now, when we drink a lot of salt or have a lot of salt or eat salty food, maybe salt water, you will feel like drinking more and more normal water. It's a very natural reaction. In fact, in the deserts, I think in Africa, they feed a lot of salt for these baboons, and they naturally go around finding for water. Once they release the baboons, they will just follow those baboons to find the water source. Because the moment you start eating a lot of salt, you will feel that need to drink more water. Here, Agastya drank the entire ocean. He just made the entire ocean into one in his handful, and then he just drank the entire ocean. And so imagine how much of salt has gone into his body. Kshara udaka aswada bhavam vipakam. There is a change in his body. Vipakaha parinamaha swasya sharire vartate. Agastya sharire. Why? Because he has drank the entire ocean here. Kshara udaka, kshara lavanam, lavana jalam. So ksharam is salty. So kshara udaka aswada, aswadanam panam, tat bhavam, tena utpannam vipakam parinamaha. So the change that has been brought about because of drinking the salty water, apakarishyan iva, as if he wants to remove that change from his body. The moment you drink a lot of salty water, something salty you eat, you want to remove that feeling that is there in your, the throat, right? So you will keep drinking water. Kshara udaka aswada bhavam vipakam apakarishyan iva. Kumbhajanma Agastya, as if he wanted to remove that change in his body, vipakam apakarishyan iva, which was caused by drinking salty water. Kshara udaka jalam. Tasya panam aswadanam. Tena udbhavam samudpannam vipakam parinamam. The change that happened, he wanted to remove. As if he wanted to remove, he did not leave Shaila, Malaya Parvatam. The more sweet you drink, the better it is for your body, so that feeling of salt is removed quickly. But he has drunk an whole ocean. So imagine how much of normal water he has to drink to balance that equation in his body. So Malayam Shailam Jatu na jahati. Jatu kadachidapi saha Malaya Shailam na jahati. Yataha tatraiva yadambaha patum. Yadambaha prakritya madhuram yadambaha prakritya swabhavataha yadambaha yasyaha tamraparnyaha ambaha jalam patum swabhavataha maduram swadu. Patum saha Malaya Shailam na jahati. What is this story about Agastya drinking the entire waters of the Samudram? So in Mahabharatam, in Vanaparva, there is a section called Tirtha Yatra Parva, where Lomasha Maharishi, he talks about different stories to Yudhishthira. Yudhishthira asks him questions, and Lomasha Rishi gives him the answers. He tells him the story about what happened. Now he asks him about Parashurama, and then after that he asks about Agastya. He wants to know the greatness of Agastya, but before that he first asks him how Indra killed Vritrasura. Now, Vritrasura was a great asura who was protected by a set of people called Kaleya. These Kaleyas, when Indra wanted to kill Vritrasura, because he was growing in stature and he was becoming more and more powerful, anybody who is more powerful than himself, Indra wants to immediately put him down so that his position is safeguarded. Okay, so of course the point behind it is, if someone is growing and if he is growing because of bad intentions, then yes, Indra will put him down. That good versus bad is always there. So saha Indraha Vritrasuram hantum udyuktaha asit. Tatkrite kaschana, he needs a great weapon in order to kill Vritrasura. So he goes to Dadichi Maharishi and asks for his bones. Dadichi Maharishi gives his bones, and with those bones, Astini Upayujya Saha Vajrasya Nirmanam Karoti, Sa Vajrayudaha tu Dadichi Maharshehe Astini Upayujya Eva Nirmitam. So he creates that weapon using the bones of Dadichi, and that is called Vajra. With that Vajrayudha, he kills Vritrasura. Now, Vritrasura was first protected by a set of people called Kaleyaha. And this Kaleya Asuras, they were protecting Vritrasura. But despite that, so because they were protecting Vritrasura and Indra was afraid to go and face Vritrasura, he was more powerful, Vishnu and other devas put in their tejas into Indra, and because of that he grew confidence, and Indra killed Vritrasura. Now these Kaleyas were not wanted to be, they wanted revenge. So they went and hid inside the Samudra. Samudram te samashritya varunam nidhim ambasam Kaleyaha sampravartanta trilokyasya vinashane. They decided to take revenge on Vritrasura's death, and they went into the Samudram. Varunam nidhim ashritya, samashritya Kaleyaha trilokyasya vinashane sampravartante. They started killing they started destroying the entire 3 worlds. So they would, every night they would come out. Ratrau te kruddaha te Kaleyaha bahihi agatya. They come out of the ocean, because during the day there are people and they will be protected. So during night these Kaleyas came out of the ocean, and in every ashrama and punya ayatanam, any tirtha sthalam, they would go there and eat the Brahmins and ascetics, the sages. So Brahmananu munine cha bhakshayanti sma te Kaleyaha. Tari kim abhavat yajnadikam na asit. So if the yajna utsava kriya is not there, then there is nothing else in the world. Good things stop happening. And because of the yajna, when havis is poured into the yajna, and that havis is the food for the devas. Now the devas will be left without any food. So they realized that their very existence is gone because of this. In fact, he says, Kshineshu cha Brahmaneshu Prithivi Kshayam Eshyati. When there are no Brahmins, there are nobody to perform the yaga. We are only talking about Brahmins who perform yagas in order to give food for the devas, right? So Pitri Yajnam, Deva Yajnam, Bhutabali, all these are being done by the Brahmanas, and when these Brahmanas are being destroyed by the Kaleyas, the bhumi will also slowly deteriorate, and then tataha prithivyam kshinayam tridivam kshayam eshyati. When this bhumi also becomes destroyed, tridivam, the Sarga will also get destroyed. So they had to do something about it. Sametya samahendraha bhayat mantram prachakrire. Out of fear, they all gathered together. Samahendraha, along with Indra, they gathered together and mantram prachakrire. Mantram is mantralochana. They started thinking about what to do, and then Narayanam puraskritya vaikuntham aparajitam. They went and met Narayana, Vishnu. They asked him what to do about this situation. Okay, so Devanam sthitim tu drishtva Vishnuhu vacha Kaleya iti Kaleye iti vikyataha ganaha paramadarunaha taischa vritram samashritya jagat sarvam pramathitam. Along with Vritrasura, the Kaleyas were also destroying the entire world. Now they have entered into the ocean. Te pravishya udadhim ghoram nakra graha samakulam utsadanartham lokanam ratrau gnanti muniniha. What they do is they have entered the ocean, which is bhayankaram, terrible, with the nakra graha sankulam. It has a lot of sharks and crocodiles and all that. Crocodiles don't live, I think, in salty waters, but it's okay. Graham can be anything that is a big animal, a big fish which is capable of catching hold. Grahana samarthyam yasya matsyasya vidyate tasya tu graha iti vaktum shakyate. Utsadanartham lokanam. In order to destroy the entire worlds, they come out ratrau during night and they kill the sages. Munina gnanti. Natu shakyaha kshayam netum samudra ashrayagata hite samudrasya kshaye buddhihi bhavadbihi sampradharyatam. It is impossible to kill them until we remove the ocean completely. We have to dry up the ocean completely. And so start thinking about what to do with that, what to do about it. Agasthyena vina kohi shaktaha anyaha arnava shoshane. There is nobody other than Agastya who is capable of drying up the entire ocean. So Vishnu gives this advice, and Devas are also, they go to Agastya and they praise him. They tell him, what all you have not done. You have protected the entire world from so many things, and they praise Agastya. There is an Agastya stuti in that. I think the 104 is filled with Agastya stuti, and then Agastya, along with them, Samudram saha samasadya varunihi bhagavan rishihi uvacha sahitan devana rishims chaiva samagata. Now he says they all go to the ocean, and he told the Devas and the Rishis, Esha lokahitartam vai pibami varunalayam. Because for the sake of the entire world, for the hitam of the world, I will drink the entire ocean. Bhavadbihi yad anushteyam tat shigram samvidhiyatam. Shigram. There is a point there why he says shigram. Yat anushteyam. That which has to be performed by you. Bhavadbihi yat anushteyam tat shigram vidhiyatam. Immediately you have to do whatever you have to do quickly. Do not delay. Now, he is going to drink the entire ocean. So once they have destroyed the Kaleyas, he has to give back the ocean, right? Otherwise, there will be no ocean in the world. So he says, do whatever you have to do very quickly. And he drinks the ocean. Chuluki kritya. Chuluki kritya is, chulukam is just one handful. In one handful, he takes the entire ocean and drinks it. Samudra jalam sampurnam saha pibati. But then they destroy the Kaleyas, they kill them, and then they ask Agastya to let go of the ocean. Purayasva mahabaho samudram lokabhavana yatvaya salilam pitam tad asmin punaha utsrija. So whatever you have drunk, leave it back, give it back to the ocean so that we can fill up this ocean, and whatever space is left off, you can, it'll be an ocean again. But then Agastya says, see, I told you to do it fast, right? You took your own sweet time. Now the whole thing has become jirnam. This is evam uktaha pratyuvacha. Jirnam tadhi maya toyam upayaha anyaf prachintyata. You have to think of some other idea. I have completely digested the entire ocean now. That's why I said shigram samvidhiyatam. Then only you have the story of Sagara, where they take Sagara's Ashwamedha Yagam, and the Sagara Putras, all 60,000 people, they dig up the earth and it starts filling up with water, and that is why Samudram is called Sagara today. So this is the story behind how Agastya drank the entire ocean. And now, because he drank the entire ocean and he has digested it, that salty nature, kshara bhavaha tu vidyate eva tasmin. Tad vipakam, whatever change that it has brought about in his body, he has to remove it now. Aduna tu madhuram tamrajalam pibanneva saha tat ksharabhavam dure kurvanna asti. Idanimapi duri kurvan asti iti karanat Malayachala na tyajatyeva saha tatraiva vasati. Okay. Now in the shloka, the alankara, when you look at the alankaras in the shloka, there's just utpreksha. But where is that utpreksha? The utpreksha is in the hetu, in the reason. Agastyaha Malayachale vasan asti tatra. There is a reason for Agastya to stay in this Malaya Parvatam because he is balancing the earth, one thing, and he is also not going back to the north for fear that Vindhyachala will start growing. So these are the reasons. But the reason that the Kavi is imagining here is Lavana Sindhu Jalasya Kshara Bhavam Apakaroti Saha Katham. Because of this, actually it's not the hetu, it's the phalam that is sambhavana. Usually the hetu sambhavana and the phala sambhavana can be a little confusing. He is staying in Malayachala and he is drinking the waters of Tamrajalam. And why is he doing that? I think it is the hetu. Kshara bhavam apakaroti iti. He doesn't, nowhere in the Puranas nor in the Itihasas do you find the fact that he is trying to remove that salty nature in him, right? Because of drinking salt, he has to drink more of madhuram. Tatha kutrapi varnitam nasti. Tari hetuhu tatra kshara udaka swabhavam duri kartum saha tatra vasati iti karanam atra sambhabhyate. Karanam tu anyad vidyate, but the hetu that the poet is saying here is something different, which he is imagining. Ksharodaka aswada bhavam vipakam apakarishyan iva kumbhajanma jahati shailam malayam na jatu patum prakritya madhuram yadambaha. Yam sarvaratnaika khanin vihaya gangam adhat kena gunena shambhuhu ka pritirarke satikaitake api nahi ishvaraha paryanojya shilaha. This is a very beautiful shloka. இது எனக்கு தமிழ்ல கேட்டு தமிழ்ல சொல்லியே பழக்கம் இந்த ஸ்லோகம். To say it in English, it's going to be a big task for me. Okay. So, yam sarva ratnaika khanim vihaya gangam kena gunena shambhuhu adhat yaha pandyadeshaha asti tatra tam tamraparnim iti viduhu ye yam tam, that tamraparni, you can connect your yat shabda and tat shabda however you want. So I have given in the brackets here, so you can look at that. This tamraparni is, what are all the gunas that he has been talking about this tamraparni till now? Number one, sarva ratnanam utpatti sthanam etat. Right? So prathamam tu mauktikanam utpatti sthanam iti uktam. In the next shloka, I think it is in the next shloka. Next shloka, he says, Vaidurya Nilotpala Moktikanam. Moktikani Yad Adi Madhya Anta Samudbhavani. So in its beginning portion, it seems there is Vaiduryam. The middle portion, there is Indranila Ratnam, sapphire. And then when it joins the ocean, we know ocean spreads out a lot of pearls and there are pearls in it. Tamraparni, apparently they have also found a copper line underneath and that's why it is called Tamraparni. So it is a repository of all jewels. Sarva Ratna Ekakani. The way Nilakanta Dikshita has described it, he is left out Vaigai, he is left out Kaveri, and he is talking so much about Tamraparni. One thing is, it is his native place and the river that flows there is Tamraparni. That is fine. It's also a very ancient river and that's why he describes that. Everybody seems to be describing Ganga. Why not? Why don't we describe this? Right? So Tamraparni. Now a question may arise to someone. Evam tu sarvaratnanam utpatti sthanam asti Tamraparni. Agasthasya suta esha. Malaya Parvatasya suta. Samudrena api bahumata esha. She's been respected by the ocean also. So many lovely qualities the poet has described. Now, If Tamraparni is such a great river, why did Shiva, what good thing did he see in Ganga that he had to take this Ganga and put it on his head? Kena gunena. Kam gunam drishtva Gangam Shivaha swashirasi adharayat. Kimartham evam karoti? Okay, fine. That is one question. Let's assume that someone is asking this question. Then the poet says, see, ka pritihi arke sati kaitake api. Ka pritihi arke sati kaitake api. Kaitake satyapi arke ka pritihi shivasya. No, he asks with a different question. If you ask them a question, they will never reply. They will ask another question as a reply. Why did you do it? Why shouldn't I do it? It's very, for some people in the Yetiki Poti Pesardembo. And the Madri and the Kavi also replies in that manner. Kimartam Gangam Adhat Tamraparnim Vihaya. Iti Yakastana Pristati Chet, Tatra Kavirapi Pratiprashnam Karoti. Kathamba Ishwarasya Ketakyadi Sugandha Pushpam Vina Vihaya Arke Pritihi Vartate. Arka Pushpam iti, it is Mandara, you can call it as Mandara Pushpam. In Tamil we have Yerikkambu, which grows in the roadside. Okay, there is one small violet color flower which is Arka Pushpam, which grows in the roadside. There is also this Tumbapu. We call it Tumbapu in Tamil. It is a very, very tiny white flower. This is supposed to be offered to Shiva, and he loves these small flowers which grow in the forest. He is not pleased by Kaitaka. Kaitaka is Tarambu. In Tamil we have we call it Tarambu, Ketaki Pushpam. Ketaki Pushpasyatu Gandhaha Ativa Vidyate, Kintu Arka Pushpasya Tadrishaha Gandhaha na Vidyate, Kintu Shivasya Arkeva Pritihi Asti. Evam Uttama Guna Vishishta Kayataki Pushpe Tasya Pritihi Nasti. Kimartham evam? What you're saying is right. Someone might tell the poet that, correct. Why is this Shiva always taking only things that don't have so much of qualities in them? He's only looking at, forest, wild flowers. He is looking at Ganga, which doesn't have so much of qualities that Tamraparni has. Immediately, Nilakanta Dikshita justifies his action by saying, see, you cannot question Ishwaras. Ishwaraha Paryanuyojya Shilaha Nahi. Whatever he does, he has something in his mind and he does. Ishwaraha tu Prichhavishayaha Nakadapi Bhavanti. Yataha te Prabhavaha Samanya Janaihi Avagantum na Shakyante. A normal person cannot understand the actions of a great person. He is an Ishwara. You can't question him there. But the point is Saulabhyam and Ashutoshaha. The bhava here is Vishishta Gunena Gangayam Kaschana Visheshaha Gunaha Asti iti Karanata Shivaha Shirasina Dharayati Alpairapi Padarthaihi. If you do Archana for him, even with a normal small flowers or anything, he becomes very happy. Saha Ashutoshaha. So there is a shloka in this thing. This is Yerikkambu. You're right. Drona Pushpam is Tumba. I mentioned Tumba Pushpam because Appaya Dikshita has in his Satmarpana Stuti, the 8th shloka, he says, Arka Drona Prabhriti Kusumaihi Archanam te Vidheyam. Arka Drona Prabhriti Kusumaihi. Nilakanta Dikshita takes that Arka here and mentions it. I mentioned Drona also, which is Tumbapu. So, Arka Drona Prabhriti Kusumaihi Archanam te Vidheyam. And in a Vyakhyana there, from Shiva Gita, he quotes from Shiva Gita saying that Shiva is extremely pleased by even wild things, flowers. You don't need Uttama, big, it is the bhavana that is more important than anything else. You don't need to present him with luxurious products here, right? So I didn't give the quotation from Shiva Gita. Chandanam bilvakashtasya pushpani vanajanyapi phalani tadrishanyeva yasya pritikarani cha. Bilva kashtasya chandanam. Chandanasya avashyakata na vidyate tasya. You don't need to bring a chandana stick and make chandanam out of that. You can take a vilva kashtam, vilva tree's stick, and then use that as chandanam for Shiva. That is enough. Pushpani vanajanyapi. Vane ye jayante, yani jayante, tani pushpani upayujya tasya archanam vidhiyatam. Na kapi badha atra. Phalani tadrishanyeva. You can take only wild fruits and offer him. You don't need Kashmir apple to offer to Shiva. You can take even those berries that you find in the forest. And best example is Kannappa Nayanar. Kannappa Nayanar would just take whatever he found in the forest and he offered it to him. Right? That's an example for Shiva. Dushkaram tasya sevayam kim asti bhuvanatraye. Tasya sevayam, Shivasya sevayam, bhuvanatraye api kim dushkaram vidyate. There is nothing difficult to offer. Patram pushpam phalam toyam yome bhaktya prayachati. Your bhakti is the key word there. You can offer whatever you want, whatever you can. No? It doesn't matter. There is no hard and fast rule that you have to give only ghee, only dadhi, na tatahasti. Patram pushpam phalam toyam yome bhaktya prayachati. Yaha bhaktya prayachati. That is important there. So vanyeshu yadrishi pritihi. In Shiva Gita he says at the end, vanyeshu yadrishi pritihi vartate parameshituhu uttameshwapi nasti eva tadrishi gramajeshwapi. Whether it is uttama nagareshu yani pushpani jayante, phalani jayante va, athava grameshu yani jayante, tatra tu pritir na vidyate parameshwarasya vanyeshu yadrishi pritihi vartate. The amount of happiness he derives by when a person just plucks something and throws it on him. That's why the I think in the 21st Sarga in Nilakanta Dikshita's, in this Shivaleelarnavam, people keep throwing stones at you, and you accept it. They'll say, let me see if I can find that quotation. I think I said it before, not sure. In the 21st Sarga, he says, Vetrahatim natu tatu. He santaha. He santaha. Correct. This is the shloka. It is the 83rd shloka in the 21st Sarga. This is He santaha shrunuta adunaiva militaihi asmavihi etat shive vachyam. We have to go and talk to Shiva about this. See, he has taken so many things. He has received so many things like being hit by a bamboo stick. So these are all one story that we will come across in the following sargas. Okay, someone hits a bhakta with a stick, and that stick and the shavukadi vande ellarukkum vilarudhu. He gives it to everybody. Everybody feels that hit behind him because it was a Shiva bhakta who was struck. So vetrahatim vibhajya na vayam bhoktum samartaha. See, we all cannot share all of these things with him. Tomorrow someone will come and hit him with a foot. No chet padahatihi shila praharanam. Someone will hit him with a stone. Kodanda danda ahatihi. Someone will take his bow and hit him. Everything is a story. There is a story behind each one of this. Gandusha udaka sekaha. Someone will have water in his mouth and then pour it as an abhishekam. Kannappa Nayanar. He will say that is abhishekam. Now we will have to take a share in all of this then. So we will have to assemble in front of Shiva and say, listen, whatever you get, you have it. We cannot take a share in that. Because Shiva is pleased by so many things. He only looks at only that bhakti that is there in the minds of the people. No chet padahatihi shila praharanam kodanda dandahatihi gandusha udaka sekaha. That's the worst. Kannappa Nayanar, because in one hand he has meat, the other hand he has flowers or fruits. In his head he has flowers. And then where will he take water for abhishekam? So he takes it in his mouth and then pours it on the Shivalingam. So Shiva accepted all of that because Saha Manayeva Pashyati, right? That's why if you look at the Nayanmar stories, there is one Nayanar who is called Visalakshi. My favorite Nayanmar is that he will Visalakshi builds a temple in his mind, and he decides on a date for Sthapanam in his mind, and the king also is building a temple, but Shiva goes to the king and says, I'm going to go to that Kumbhabhishekam and not yours. So he gives more importance to what is there in the mind of a bhakta. So yam sarva ratnaika khanim vihaya gangamadhat kena gunena shambuhu kapriti rarke satikaitake nahi ishwaraha paryanayojya shilaha. You cannot question the Ishwara. That is the bottom line of this shloka. Okay, so what he says is, whatever Shiva may do, we are nobody to question his actions. This is Nilakanta Dikshita's sarcastic way of saying, don't think that you know everything about everything. There is someone beyond us whom we cannot question, and his actions may seem very alpam. That is because what we give value to is something very different from what he gives value to. Right? Sarva ratna eka khani. Ratnanam tu tatra tasya pritihi nasti iti vaktum arabhate. So he has no, he does not look at luxurious items that are being offered. Okay. So yam sarva ratnaika khanim vihaya gangam adhat kena gunayana shambhuhu kapritir arke kaitake sati kaitake api nahi ishwaraha paryanayojya shilaha. The next one is the sarva ratnaika khani. He is so why is Tamraparni called sarva ratnanam eka khanihi? Khani, I don't think I mentioned what is khani. Khani is akaraha. Did I mention each and every shloka? I'm not sure. Word in the shloka. Yeah. Sollaliya. Yam sarva ratnanam ekakanim. Okay, fine. Vaidurya nilotpala mauktikani yat yasyaha adau vaiduryam madhye nilotpalam anta samudbhavam mauktikam. In the course of Tamraparni, at the beginning, in the mountains, you have Vaiduryam, and in the middle portion, or in the slopes, or in the plains, you find Nilotpala, sapphire coming out, and then at the end, near the ocean, there are a lot of pearls. So this Nadi, even though Tamraparni gives rise to, is an Utpatti Sthanam for so many different precious gems, still in the Pandya Desha, Yatra, Sa Tamraparni Saritu Eva, even though it is a huge river, in that Pandya Desha, they only think of this Tamraparni as Kachana Sarani Iva, Sadharani Sarani Iva. Sadharani, Samanya, Sarani ityukte Swalpa Nadi Kulya. Vakya matradam pakrala. Vakyalna and the canal. They only look at this Tamraparni as a canal. They don't think of the gems that are produced in this Nadi, because Purvameva Tetu Susamriddhaha Eva Pandideshiyaha. Tesham samriddhihi vartate eva itaha ratnam swikritya dhanavantaha. It is not necessary that they have to become dhanikaha by taking this ratnam from the Tamraparni. So they think of it as only a normal canal that runs in their backyard. For people who stay in the Kaveri Kare, the Kaveri's back, in the villages in Tanjavur district, the Kaveri flows through the villages. So for them, it is only a backyard river. It doesn't have that great significance. That's why they take trips to Kashi to see Ganga. The same qualities are there in Kaveri also. But yet they will treat it as a river. It's a normal river that flows in our backyard. In that manner, in Pandya Desha also, people treat Tamraparni Yasyaha adi madhya anta samudbhavani vaidurya nilotpala moktikani vartante, in whose adi beginning there is vaidurya. This is called yatha sankhya manudesha samanam. You know, in this vyakaranam we have a sutram called yatha sankhya manudesha samanam. You have a list of qualities and then another list of qualities. You have to do match the following 1, 2, 3, 4. We have seen this alankara before in the first sarga also. So yad adi yasyaha tamraparnyaha adau. This color is not visible. Okay, yasyaha adau vaidurya ratnani santi. Yasyaha madhye nilotpalani. Nila utpala is stone. Nila utpala is blue color gems, precious stone, which is sapphire. And then anta samudbhavani, that which grows at the end is, that which is created at the end is moktikam, which is pearl. So this 1, 2, 3 and how it correlates to the next portion, this alankara comes from the Vyakaranam rule, and this alankara is called Yathasankhya alankara. Okay. So yad adi madhyanta samudbhavani vaidurya nilotpalani moktikani santi sa tamraparni sarit eva. That Tamraparni river itself is just treated as sadharani kachana, some normal sarani kulya, some normal canal or stream. It is only treated as a stream. Yatra, in which land? That land is called Pandya Desha. Saha Pandya Desha asti. Now the historical or geographical references to Vaidurya growing in a in the source of Tamraparni, you can't find that much. The only source is for Vaiduryam. The word itself is formed from the word Vidura. Vidurat prabhavanti iti Vaiduryani. There is a sutram in Ashtadhyayi. Vidura nyaha iti nya pratyayaha vartate vidura shabdat tadanantaram vaiduryam iti shabda vyutpattihi. There is also a discussion in Kashika and Mahabhashyam where he says vaidurya manayaha vidura parvate na utpadyante. They are not produced in the mountain of Vidura, but it is actually produced in the mountain called Valavaya. This Valavaya, I don't know if it is present in the present world. Probably it was a portion of Malaya Parvatam, and from where this Tamraparni river comes. Actually, a very interesting fact is Sri Lanka was called Tamraparni. Its older name is Tamraparni, and there is an Agastya peak in Sri Lanka also. Sri Lanka's cat's eye, Vaiduriyam is cat's eye, and the Vaiduriyam that comes from Sri Lanka is supposed to be the best in the world. It's considered the best in India. So it's a very interesting take. I don't know how much of it is relevant here, but yeah. So this Vaiduriyam in the Mahabhashyam, the discussion there is Valavaya girehe parvatat eva Vaidurya manayaha prabhavanti kintu Vidura nagare samskriyante. Vidura parvate athava Vidura nagare they samskriyante itukte, they are polished and cleaned up and made into a gem only in a place called Vidura. It could be a mountainous region, and in that place it is created into a Vaiduryam. So from the mines you have the unpolished gem that is taken to Vidura, and where it is created into a gem, and that's why that gem is called Vaiduryam. Okay. And probably this mountain was part of Malaya Parvata, and that's why you have Adi Tamraparnyaha Adi Pradeshe Vaiduryasya Utpattihi Jayate iti Uttam. And then you have sapphire. Sapphire probably is found in a lot of mines, even in the plains. And as I told you, Tamraparni is it's like a source for a lot of gems, and even that copper line goes. So there are a lot of quarries on the both sides of Tamraparni, apparently. Okay. So Vaidurya Nilotpala. Some in Tamil, it's a Tamil influence to say Vaiduryam. It is not present in Samskrita. In Sanskritam, because of the Ashtadhyayi reference. So Ashtadhyayi, the time for Panini is around 500 BC, according to some scholars. And from then on, it is only Vidura Deshatu Prabhavati iti Vaiduryam iti the Dantya Eluth. Vaiduryam yatra Murdhanya Rupena Tamil Bhashayam eva upayujyate. Vaidurya Nilotpala Muktikani Yadadi Madhyanta Samudbhavani Sa Tamraparni Sarideva Yatra Sadharani Kachana Sarani Iva. One more shloka, because with that the Tamraparni description is over. And then from the 25th shloka, he starts a description of Kadambavanam. In the first shloka we saw, right? Srimad Sundaranathasya Devim Shaparalochanam Kalaye Hridaye Nityam Kadamba Vanavasini. Now he comes to Madurai, the city of Madurai, which is Kadambavanam. There are Kadamba Vriksha everywhere, and it is called Kadambavanam. He starts a description of that forest. Tasmin Vishale Tarunendu Maulehe Avasabhutam. Now, luckily, our Yachabda Tachabda for Tamraparni and Pandya Desham is over. We are coming to a next section of description. So, Tasmin Vishale Tarunendu Maulehe Avasabhutam Padam Adbhutanam Vanam Jagat Pavanamasti Kinchit Nipadrumanam Nikasha Vrishadrim. Tasmin Pandya Deshe. Pandya Deshastu atra Vishalaha vartate. Tasmat Vishale Tasmin Pandya Deshe. Vishalam Vistritam. In that expansive Pandya Desha, extensive land, Tarunendu Maulehe Avasabhutam Adbhutanam Padam Jagat Pavanam Nipadrumanam Kinchit Vanam Asti. There is a Vanam forest made of Nipadruma, of Nipa trees. Nipa is the same as Kadamba. Okay, so Nipa flowers are those which bloom during rainy season. So Nipadrumanam, Nipa trees, there is a forest, Vanam Asti, which is very near to a mountain called Vrishadri, Vrisha Parvata. So Vrishadrim Nikasha. Nikasha, when you use the word Nikasha, Samaya, Abhitaha, Paritaha, Ha, Etesham Prayoge, Pratiyoge, that word which is in Shashti Vibhakti is used in Dvitiya Vibhakti. So usually when we use the word Samipam, we say Grihasya Samipe, Nadi Vartate, Atava Nadyaha Samipe, Vanam Vartate. So you use Shashti Vibhakti with the word Samipam. Nikasha and Samaya are two words which also mean Samipa. But when these two words are used, Shashti Vibhaktyam Yat Shabdaha Vidyate, Yaha Shabdaha Vidyate, Sa Shabdaha Dvitiyayam Prayujyate. We immediately make it into Dvitiya. So it says Vrishabhadrim Nikasha, near Mount Vrisha. Okay. What is this Vanam? There are three adjectives for this Vanam. The first adjective is Tarunendu Maulehe Avasabhutam. It is the residence of Taruna Indu Maulihi. Tarunaha Balaha Induhu Chandraha Yasya Maulau Vidyate. Chandrasekharaha Shambhuhu Shivaha. Shivasya Avasabhutam Vasasthalattvena Swikritam Yat Vanam Asti Saha Asmin Pandideshe Eva Vidyate. Tat Vanam Asmin Pandideshe Eva Vidyate. So Tarunendu Maulehe Chandrasekharasya Avasabhutam Vasasthalam. So it is the residence of the Lord who has Taruna Indu, the crescent moon, Bala Chandram Shikhari, Shirasi, the one who has it on his head. Tarunendu Maulehe Avasa Bhutam. Now, because of this adjective, the next one will fit beautifully. Auchityam. Adbhutanam Padam. Tasmat Karanadeva. Shivasya Vasasthalam iti Karanadeva. Etad Vanam Ascharyanam Sthalam api asti. adbhutanam padam. Because Shivasya Ishvara Chatushshishti Vidha Leelaha Yenakari Bhuvastale. All 64 Tiruvilayadal happened in and around this place and in and around this Vanam, Kadamba Vanam. So Ishvara Leela Nirupanat Ascharyanam Padam Asti. So it is a place of miracles also, because Ishvara conducted his 64 Leelas here. Now, Ataha Karanat Jagat Pavanamapi Vidyate. Because Shiva stayed here and he performed a lot of miracles, it is also a place that sanctifies the entire world. Jagat Pavanam Jagatam Lokanam cha Tad Jananam cha Tribhuvananam Dripuvaneshu ye Janaha Vidyante Tesham api Pavanam Punyakaram Asti Etat Sthala Etad Vanam. So Kasmin Vishale Tarunendu Maulehe Avasa Bhutam Padam Adbhutanam Vanam Jagat Pavanam Asti Kinchit Nipadrumanam Nikasha Vrishadrim. But this Vrishadri is another question mark. In modern this thing, the name Vrishadri comes about only in the 7 hills in Tirupati. You have Vrishabhadri, Vrishadri, Saptagiri and all that. But Alagar Malai, you have Alagar hills in Madurai, which the original name in the Puranam for that Alagar Malai is called Vrishabhadri or Vrishadri. Vrisha and Vrishabha are the same. So it was called Vrishabhadri in the Puranas, both Brahmanda Puranam and Vamana Puranam. So Alagar Malai is present near Madurai, and probably that is what he is saying here. Okay. So any questions, you can raise your hand. I'll stop the class with this. No? Namaste, Mahodaya.
Namaste, Mahodaya.
Namaste.
Paryanuyojyashilaha.
I knew I had left out the explaining something in that shloka. Paryanuyojya.
Bhavati vivrutvati eva. Ishvaraha prashna vayam ishvaran prashna vayam ke ishvaran prashtumiti ritya.
Correct.
Amagamanam eva.
Paryanuyojyam. Paryanuyojyam ityukte paryanuyogasya yogyam paryanuyojyam. So pricha paryanuyojyati yojayati abdinale prichati ityarthaha tatra. Pari anu yogaha paryanuyogaha prashnaha. It is a very specific word. We've not come across this synonym at all, right? Paryanuyogaha is there in many I think in Bhagavatam Mahatmyam, this word has come, I think. Very vaguely, I remember. Yeah. Paryanuyojyasya yojyam shilaha. How do I say? Paryanuyogaya yogyaha paryanuyojyam. So paryanuyojya shilam yasya. That's what I think. The one who has the character of being questioned.
Kaitaki pushpa vishe, Ketaki pushpa vishe tu Shiva Mahapurane asti kila. Arunachala
Agnistamba Stambasya Adi Madhyanta Anveshane Brahma yada upari gachati Hamsavahane tada and Tarambu Kizhavilardu. Ketaki pushpam tu correct.
Anantaram tatra Vitane Stapaitum Saha Angikritavaन् Ambayaः Anurodena iti Shruyate. Punaha etad Mahodeya Uktam Vetra Hatim iti. Vastutaha Vetra Hatim Vibhaktum Vishwatmakata Pradarshita Bhavata Harakata Kavalagrase Punar Abhinitam Shiva Advaitam.
அதாவது சாட்டை அடைய மாத்திரம் பிரிச்சு கொடுத்த புட்டு வாங்கறச்சு எங்களை நினைச்சுக்கலையே நீன்னு கேட்டார்.
वयं तु तमिळ् भाषया पिट्टुकु मनसु वन्द कथयेव पठितवन्तः विद्यालये. किन्तु यदा एतद् श्रुतम् இது மதுரமா சாப்பிடும்போது மட்டும் கொடுக்கல, அடி மட்டும் கொடுத்தியே. एतद् श्रुत्वा एव वस्तुतः शिवलीलार्णवं पठनीयम् इति इच्छा आगता.
மகாபரிவாத சொல்லியிருக்கா இந்த வேத்ராஹதிம் பாதாஹதிம் அந்த ஸ்லோகத்தை வந்து பெரியவா அவரோட தெய்வத்தின் குரல்ல இருக்கும்.
அது படித்து ஏவ பட்டனியம் इति इच्छा.
अस्माकं तु एतत् अयं श्लोकः यां सर्व रत्नैक खनिं विहाय இந்த ஸ்லோகத்தை கேட்டுட்டு தான் நாங்க வந்து படிக்கணும்னு ஆசைப்பட்டேன். எங்க ப்ரொஃபசர் ரொம்ப அழகா சொல்லுவார், அது என்னப்பா ஈஸ்வரனை கேட்க கூடாதுன்னு பாரு, ரொம்ப அழகா அதை வந்து எங்க ப்ரொஃபசர் சொல்லுவார்.
वस्तुतः भवत्याः पाठन शैलीम् अहं बहु इच्छामि महोदय. बहु उत्तमरीत्या भवती विवृणोति. அந்த இடத்துக்கே போயிடுறோம் நாங்க. அனுபூய
பகவத் சங்கல்பம்.
धन्यवादः महोदय.
नमस्ते. नमस्ते महोदय.
अधात् अधात् what is the meaning of अधात्?
अधात् अधारयत्, दधाति धान्य दुधान्य खलु. अधात् means he bearing, having it, dharayati iti. Puriyada? It's okay? Hello?
Thank you, madam. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, any other questions? Ram sir, chalo.
Shankari ரபேஷஹாங்கிற கொஸ்டின் கேட்டாரு. ரபேஷஹானாக்கா என்ன அர்த்தம்?
இல்ல மாதான் அது. ஐ திங்க் தப்பா டைப் ஆயிருக்கும்னு நினைக்கிறேன். ஓகே.
சரபேஷன் கேட்டிருக்கேன்.
அந்த மாதிரி யோசிச்சேலா? दुधान्य धारण पोषणे, so I was just looking for that. Lung lakaraha tatra. There is also another dhiyate iti. அதோடதும் வரும். One minute. धे पाने न दुधान्य धारण पोषणे जुहोत्यादि, and in that you have this lung lakara. Okay? Yeah.
கடம்ப அப்படிங்கிற ஃப்ளவருக்கு தமிழ்ல கடம்ப அது வந்து இட்ஸ் நாட் கனகாம்பரம், இஸ் இட்?
இல்ல கனகாம்பரம் கிடையாது. கதம்ப புஷ்பம் தமிழ்ல என்னன்னு எனக்கு சட்டுன்னு வரலையே.
நீங்க நெக்ஸ்ட் டைம் if you come across something, let us know.
Yeah.
கடம்ப வனவாசினின்னா பாட்டுல ஸ்லோகத்துல
இருக்கு. டெஃபினெட்லி கடம்ப மரம்னே இருக்கு. கடம்பம்ங்கிறது தமிழ்ல இட்ஸ் a flower. ஆமா.
ஓகே.
கடம்பம் தான் இருக்கு.
பிக் சைஸ் டு ஃப்ளவரோ
என்னமோ வெள்ளை கதம்பம்னு தான் இருக்கு. இட்ஸ் a very
ஓகே. நான் நினைச்சேன் இந்த டார்க், நாட் டார்க் ரெட் but light.
No, it's a more it is dark. The trees are very dark. The flowers might be white, but the tree is a very thick and dark tree. அதனால தான் அது வந்து சூரியன் கூட உள்ள வரலங்கிற மாதிரி டிஸ்கிரிப்ஷன்ஸ்லாம் இருக்கு இல்ல.
ஓகே.
நீபம் திருஷ்டுவா ஹரித கபிஷம்னு இதுல மேக சந்தேஷத்துல இருக்கு. ஹரித கபிஷம். So it is both dark and kapisha, a very light yellowish brown color. So the flower is a whitish brownish color, whereas the tree is very dark in color. Tamala vriksham madri. Yeah. I think that's all. No other questions? Okay. We'll stop with this. Namaste.